morning to one and all. I'm G Vamshi from branch of 3. Today's my topic was about time series analysis. Meaning and definition. A time series is a set of data depending on the time, a series of values over a period of time, collection of magnitudes belonging to different time periods of some variable and composite of variables such as production of steel, per capita income, gross national income, price of tobacco, and index of industrial production. Time is act as device of set of common stable reference point. In time series, time act as an independent variable to estimate dependent variable. Mathematical presentation of time series. A time series is set of observation taken at specific times, usually at equal intervals. Mathematically, time series is defined by a values of y1, y2 of and so on of variable y at times of t1, t2 and so on. Thus, y is equal to f of t. Causes of variation in time series data. Social customs, festivals, etc. Seasons. The four phases of business, property, decline, depression, and recovery. National calamities, earthquake, epidemic, flood, drought, etc. Political movements, changes and war, etc. Importance of time series analysis. Very popular tool for business forecasting. Basis for understanding past behavior. Can forecast future activities, planning for future operation. Evaluate current accomplishments and evaluation of performance, facilities comparison. Time series examples. Stock price census, exchange rate, interest rate, inflation rate, and national GDP. Retail sales, electric power consumption, number of accident fatalities. Compounds of time series. What is compounds? Characteristics, movements of or fluctuation of time series. Types of compounds: secular trend or trend, seasonal variation or fluctuation, cyclical variation or fluctuation, irregular variations or movements. Secular trend or trend, the general tendency of the data to grow or decline over the long period of time. The forces which are constant over a long period or even if they vary, they do so very gradually. Produce the trend. For for example, population change, technologically process improvement in business organization, better medical facility, etc. Example, formation of rock. And this is the graphs of upward trend, downward trend, and no trend. Downward trend, declining death rate. Upward trend or population growth. Mathematically, trend may be linear or non-linear. Purpose of measuring trend: knowledge of past behavior and estimation and study of other components. Seasonal variation fluctuation. Components responsible for a regular rise or fall fluctuations in time series during a period not more than 1 year. Fluctuation occurs in regular sequence periodically. The period being a year, a month, or a week, or day, or even a fraction of the day, an hour, etc. Term seasonal is meant to include any kind of variation which is a periodic nature and whose repeating cycles are relatively short duration. The factors that cause regional variations are climate and weather conditions, B, customs, tradition and habits. Characteristics features of seasonal variation: regularity, fixed proportion, increase or decrease, and easy forecast. Purpose of measuring seasonal variation: analysis of past behavior of season series, forecasting short-term fluctuation, elimination of seasonal variation for measuring cyclic variation. Examples of seasonal variation: crops are sown and harvested at certain times every year and then demand for a labor growing up during sowing and harvesting seasons. Demands for woolen cloths goes up in winter. Price increases during festivals. Withdrawals from banks are heavy during first week of month. The number of letters posted on Saturday is larger. Cyclic variation. Cycle refers to recurrent variation in time series. Cyclic variation usually lasts longer than a year. Like cyclic fluctuations or variations are long-term movements that represent consistently recurring rises and declines in activity. Business cycle consists of four phases: property decline, depressions, recovery. Purpose: measures of past cyclic behavior. Forecasting: useful in formulating policies in business. Irregular variation, also called erratic, random, or accidental variation, do not repeat in definite pattern. Strikes, fire, wars, famines, floods, earthquakes. Unpredictable characteristics: irregular, unpredictable, no definite pattern. Short period of time, no statistical technique. Analysis of decomposition of time series consists of discovering, measuring, isolating compounds of time series. Mathematical models of time series: additive model and multiplicative model. In additive model, we assume that the data is sum of time series components yt equal to t plus s plus c plus l. If the data do not contain one of the components, example cycle, the value for that missing component is 0. Suppose there is no cycle, then yt equal to t plus s plus l. The seasonal components is dependent of trend and thus magnitude of seasonal swing is constant over time. Multiplicative model. We assume that the data is the product of various components. Yt equal to t into s into c into l. I. In trend, seasonal variation or cycle is missing, then the value is assumed to be 1. Suppose there is no cycle, then yt equal to t into s into l. The seasonal factor of multiplicative model is proportion ratio to the trends, thus the magnitude of seasonal swing increases or decreases according to behavior of trend. And thank you. This PPT made by G Vamshi.